It's not the size of the word, it's the weight of the energy behind it. Ladies, you've been talking too much with your mouth and not enough with your magic. Let's just be real right now. You've been taught that if you want to connect with a man, you have to explain yourself better, say more, use the right words, keep him interested with deep conversations or clever questions, but that's a lie. A pretty little lie that's made you exhausted and invisible, because men, they don't remember long speeches. They remember moments, moments that sneak up on them, that hit the back of their neck, that stay with them after the conversation ends. And more often than not, those moments start with one thing: a whisper, a nickname, a word that says, "I see you," not just as a man, but as mine. Before we go further, do me a favor. If your heart is already leaning in, if your mind's going, okay, this is different, hit that like button and subscribe, because I don't do surface talking. I put my soul into this content to give you tools that work in the real world, not the fantasy. I'm not here to sell you lines. I'm here to hand you keys. Now, hey, my friends, imagine this. He's been called sir, boss, man, or just John all day. Work, emails, meetings, all logic, all task-driven, but then you lean in close, just enough for him to feel your breath, and you say, "Hey, trouble," or maybe, "Thanks, big guy." Maybe even just stud. That one word in your tone, in your timing, shifts something in him. It doesn't just land in his ear, it lands in his ego, and not the arrogant kind, the primal, boyish, "I feel like a king" kind. And he doesn't forget that. You see, men are emotionally underfed, even the strong ones, especially the strong ones. And a woman who knows how to feed him without begging, without chasing, she becomes unforgettable. And ladies, it doesn't take a paragraph. And it takes presence, it takes rhythm, it takes a single word spoken like it means something. Here's the deeper truth. Nicknames aren't childish, they're primal. They bypass his brain and go straight to his body and to his memory, to the part of him that says, "She sees something in me no one else does." And that's what we're unlocking today. This isn't about being cute, it's about being impactful. Because the woman who knows how to flirt with just a word, who knows how to pull him in without reaching, she doesn't just hold his attention, she haunts it in the best way. So say this with me. Type it in the comments like it's gospel. I speak with softness, I lead with power, I stay unforgettable. Go on, write it, say it. Let your fingers declare it before your mouth does. And if you're still watching, I already know something in you is waking up. Because this isn't just about words, it's about energy. It's about the moment where you stop trying to prove and start becoming the kind of woman whose voice he hears long after she's gone. Stay with me, because we're about to break down the first nickname and why it makes his whole chest light up like you just gave him oxygen. Number one, he's a man, not a machine. Give him identity, not instructions. A name from the world commands attention. A name from you commands desire. Let's get one thing straight, my friend. He's a man, not a machine. He's not a robot programmed to respond on cue or spit out affection the moment you give instructions. He doesn't want to be told how to act, how to speak, how to love. What he wants is to feel like a man, not just any man, your man. See, the world gives him labels all day long. Sir, boss, brother, Mr. Smith, cold, formal, transactional. Those names tell him what role to play. But the moment you walk in, lean close, and whisper something that sees him, that's the moment he goes from functioning to feeling. Imagine this. He's had a rough day. Deadlines, pressure, silence. He walks in, sets his keys down, shoulders heavy, and you, with that soft, slow tone, smile and say, "Hey, daddy, your baby wants to cuddle." Boom. That man just left the boardroom in his mind and stepped into a fantasy. Not because of what you said, but how you said it. Because in that moment, you gave him more than a nickname. You gave him identity. You didn't demand something from him. You reminded him of what he is to you. Here's what most women don't understand. Nicknames aren't just playful fluff. They are emotional signals that bypass his logic and go straight into his instincts. The nickname you choose tells him how you see him, and how you see him becomes how he starts to see himself around you. Let me ask you something. Do you want a man who gives you his effort, his focus, his desire? Then you better learn how to pull it out of him, not with pressure, but with precision. Because here's the thing, if you're calling him by the same names everyone else does, why would he feel different about you? You want him to chase you and to show up for you, to think about you when he's not even near you? Make him feel seen in a way the world never does. Let's kill a myth right here. Using a nickname like Daddy isn't about submission or weakness. It's about confidence. It's about giving your attraction a language, one that only he understands. And when you say it right, with timing, with intention, with that feminine heat behind your eyes, that one word rewrites his whole day. Don't believe me? Try it next time he's doing something small. Changing a light bulb, fixing the TV, picking up takeout. Look at him like he just walked off a throne and say it slow. Thank you, Daddy. Then walk away. Watch what that does. Watch how he starts looking at you like you're the prize. Because you didn't just compliment him, you gave him identity. And trust me, identity is more addictive than approval. A man doesn't want a checklist. He wants to be chosen. He wants to be named. And when you are the one giving that name, it sticks deeper than any compliment ever could. And you're not just in his phone, you're in his fantasy. You're not just the woman he sees, and you're the woman he remembers. And if that's where you want to stay, stick with me. Because next, we're diving into a nickname that triggers a man's protector instinct in less than 3 seconds. And once that's activated, oh honey, he's yours. Number 2, big guy energy. Why physical affirmation hits harder than you think. Masculinity isn't about muscles, it's about meaning. And sometimes the strongest thing a man can lift is your attention. All right, my friends, lean in close for this one, because I'm about to put you onto a nickname that doesn't just sound good. It hits him right in the chest in all the right ways. Let's talk about big guy. Now listen, he doesn't have to be 6 feet 5 inches or built like a superhero. This ain't about biceps. It's about how he feels in your presence. It's about what happens to his spine, his shoulders, his swagger, when you look at him with that soft smile and say, oh, thanks, big guy. You see, men are constantly performing for the world, for their job, for their family. They're fixing, lifting, solving, moving like emotional forklifts. And 99% of the time, nobody says a word, not even a thank you, just expectations. So when you come along, not with instructions, not with critique, but with a playful smirk and a sultry little big guy after he opens your water bottle, baby, that's not a compliment. That's a hit of testosterone straight to the ego. And here's what most women miss. You're not complimenting the jar. You're complimenting the feeling of being your man in that moment. You're not saying you're strong. You're saying you make me feel safe. And let me tell you something, that is his kryptonite. He may not be the type to flex in the mirror, but when you call him big guy in a whisper, maybe when he reaches for the luggage, opens your car door, or holds you tighter than usual, that name sticks. That name hits the part of him no one else reaches. Because for a man, strength isn't just about what he lifts, it's about who he lifts it for. And so picture this, you're walking through a parking lot, it's dark, a little chilly. He subtly moves to the side closest to traffic without a word. You lean in and say, thanks for that, big guy. Boom. That man just went from average Tuesday to hero in your movie. And don't get it twisted. Even the shy ones, the quiet thinkers, the bookworms and soft-spoken gents, they feel this too. Because big guy doesn't label his body, it amplifies his presence. So next time he does something small but meaningful, lifts a grocery bag, changes your tire, walks you to your door, don't let that moment pass in silence. Let your voice carry what he's starving to hear. You protect me, I see you. Coming up next, we're gonna flip the switch with a nickname that teases him just enough to make him chase. It's bold, it's daring, it's trouble, and it works. Stay close. Number 3, the secret sauce is tone, timing, and that little smile. It's not what you say, it's how your energy walks it into his soul. All right, my friends, now we're really stepping into the magic room. The difference between saying a nickname and making it unforgettable. Because here's the truth, you could call him captain, boss, or champ all day, but if you say it like you're ordering drive-through, it's going in one ear and out the other. The secret sauce, tone, timing, and that little smile that says, I know exactly what I'm doing. Let me break it down. It's not captain, it's hey, captain. Say it like it's a slow burn, soft, a little breathy, maybe with your voice just a little lower than usual. Throw in that half smile, the one that curls at the corner of your lips like you're holding back something playful. It's about the moment you say it. You don't just drop a nickname randomly while you're scrolling TikTok. You feel the moment forming. When he's leaning in, saying something clever, helping you carry groceries, choosing where to eat, Then you drop it in like a secret, not a sentence. Picture this. You're sitting side by side. He just made a decision, took control, solved a problem. You glance over, lean in just a little, touch his arm with your fingertips and say, "All right, boss, your move." That's not a nickname. That's a moment branded into his nervous system. And it's not just about being sexy. It's about being intentional, eye contact that lingers, a pause before the word, that slow, deliberate delivery that makes the word feel dipped in honey and wrapped in meaning. Because ladies, men don't get tone from the world, they get clipped responses, dry instructions, short texts. So when you speak in a tone that's soft, smooth, maybe even a little slow and teasing, you're not just speaking, you're seducing. Here's something psychology backs up. Men don't always process words the way women do, but they do feel energy. So when your voice carries a feeling, respect, admiration, warmth, desire, that's what lands. That's what lingers. So let me ask you this. Have you been speaking to him like a woman who knows her power? Or have you been throwing words around like they don't carry weight? Because girl, every time you whisper something like "easy, cowboy," with that playful look in your eyes, you're not just flirting. You're branding yourself into his memory. Coming up next, we're cranking up the heat. You're gonna learn how to use one cheeky nickname that tells him he's dangerous in the best way. And you love every second of it. Don't blink. Number 4, the nickname that triggers his provider instinct. Every man has a king inside him, but he doesn't show up for pressure. He shows up for praise. Let me put you onto a secret most women don't know. Men love to be affirmed, especially when it's wrapped in respect and a little playful heat. Because the truth is, the masculine mind is wired to provide, protect, and perform. But you can't demand that energy from him. You have to draw it out. And nothing draws it out faster than the right nickname. Said at the right moment, with the right tone, something like, "Okay, boss, I see you." Orient, "All right, Captain, taking charge today, huh?" Or my personal favorite, "Way to go, champ, nailed it." See what happened there? You didn't flatter him. You reflected him back to himself, not in a serious, heavy way, in a light, flirty, feminine way that makes his chest swell a little, not because he's cocky, because he feels seen. Now let's make this real. You're at the restaurant. He handles the reservation, picks the table, orders for you without being controlling. You don't just say, "Thanks." Nah, you lean in, grin, and say, "Okay, boss, you really handled that." Boom. The energy in his body shifts. You didn't just acknowledge the task, you activated the archetype, because when you call him boss or captain or champ in the right moment, you're speaking to the leader in him. You're saying, "I trust your decision. I see your strength. I feel safe when you take the wheel." And nothing ignites his masculine identity faster than that. But here's the key. It has to be playful, not sarcastic. You're not roasting him. You're not rolling your eyes and saying, "Okay, boss," like it's a joke, and that kills it. You're lifting him, not in a worship way, no, in a magnetizing way. Like, I know who you are, and I like it. Because men don't just want to be loved. They want to be respected, not through lectures, not through demands, but through these tiny, sexy acknowledgments that say, "You're showing up, I notice, and I love it." So next time he fixes something, makes a plan, or just takes charge of the vibe, don't let the moment pass. Drop a nickname like a spark, not a spotlight. Let it feel earned. Let it feel earned from you. Because when you learn to reflect his best self with your words, he starts to associate his greatness with your presence. Coming up next, we're going to take a sharp turn into the spicy lane. There's one nickname that says, "You're dangerous, and I love it," without ever crossing the line. And it's fun, it's bold, and it hooks his mind like wildfire. Stay right here. Number 5, use mischief to spark masculine tension. Every man wants to feel like he's the one who brings out your wild. Now we're turning the dial up, my friends. This is where it gets spicy, where your words stop sounding sweet and start tasting like tension. Because there's a nickname that doesn't just flirt, it simmers. It doesn't say, "I'm impressed." It says, "You're dangerous, and I'm not walking away." I'm talking about names like trouble, like cowboy, nicknames that carry heat, mischief, and a little delicious edge. Let's paint the picture. He cracks a joke that walks the line, just clever enough to make you raise your brow. Or maybe he gives you that sideways grin that says he knows exactly what he's doing. You shake your head, bite your smile, and murmur, "You're trouble, you know that, right?" You didn't scream it, you didn't explain it, you just dropped it, like it came from somewhere deeper than your mouth. And in that moment, you just became his favorite game and his newest obsession. Because men, real, grounded, masculine men, they love to feel like they stir something in you. Not just affection and not just comfort, but fire, impulse, boldness, a little mischief. And that's what Cowboy does too. You're not calling him Clint Eastwood. You're tapping into the archetype, bold, untamed, independent. Let's say he holds the door for you, his hand brushes yours, or he moves with that confident stride like he owns the room. You lean in, smirk, and say, "Easy there, cowboy. It's not a name, it's a spark." And in that split second, you've just told him, "You shake me up," in all the best ways. And see, it's not about being naughty. It's about being aware of your power, aware of your magnetism, aware of the chemistry you're co-creating. Because here's the magic. When you drop a nickname like Trouble or Cowboy, you're not just labeling him, you're giving yourself permission to play, to tease, to stir, to create a moment that's more about energy than anything logical. And men, they don't forget the woman who gave them permission to be a little wild, not reckless and not out of control, just alive. And ladies, let's be honest, when's the last time you let yourself play that card? The bold card, the teasing card, the one that doesn't try to prove anything, just lets a little chaos sparkle in her smile. That's what makes you memorable. That's what makes him hooked. Because you weren't needy, you weren't stiff, you were feminine and fire all at once. And that, my friends, is irresistible. Coming next, we're going deep into the quiet power move. The nickname that isn't loud or cheeky, but makes a man feel chosen in the softest, strongest way. Stay close. This one, it whispers like silk and stays like thunder. Number 6, pet names tap into his inner boy, and that's not a weakness. Every strong man has a little boy inside. He just hides him behind muscle and responsibility. Now listen closely, my friends, because what we're about to uncover, it's not just powerful, it's tender. And if you learn how to hold both, you won't just attract a man, you'll anchor him. See, most women think men only want to feel strong, in control, tough, but that's only half the truth. The real magic happens when you speak to the other side of him. The part that doesn't want to lead and not the part that just wants to be loved without needing to earn it. Enter the nickname. Stud, baby, champ. Each one a tiny bridge between his adult power and his emotional softness. They remind him, you don't have to be a hero to be held, and let's break this down. He walks in after a long day, shoulders tight, energy drained. He doesn't want to explain and he doesn't want to impress. He just wants to feel like home is here. You smile, pull him close, and whisper, "Hey baby, come here." Boom. That wall? Gone. You didn't ask for anything. You didn't challenge him. You offered emotional safety. And for a man, especially a man who's used to carrying everything alone, that's rarer than gold. Now let's talk champ. This one hits a different note. It's admiration plus encouragement in one word. He closes a deal, fixes something around the house, finally books that trip. And instead of clapping or going over the top, you lean in with that grin and say, "Oh, way to go, champ." What just happened? You lit up the part of his brain that remembers childhood pride, that moment of being told good job without conditions. And now it's coming from you. And then there's stud. Oh, stud is special. It flirts without trying too hard. It says, "I see you. I like what I see. I want more of it." It's physical admiration without being obvious. Like when he walks out in a fresh shirt or finishes shaving. You tap his chest lightly, smirk, and go, "Damn, stud, you're not even trying, are you?" That right there, that's not just attraction, that's emotional play. That's the difference between a polite moment and a chemistry-charged memory. Because here's what most women forget. Masculine men don't just want to protect. They want to feel protected too, not with shields or logic, with warmth, with softness, with the kind of affection that says, "I see all of you and you're safe here." Pet names aren't childish, they're intimate, and they don't just stir romance, and they heal history. So don't hold back, my friend. Don't think you have to stay cold to stay powerful. Let your words be both the spark and the shelter. Let him feel held and hunted. Because when you speak to the man and the boy inside him, you don't just become the woman he wants. You become the woman he never even knew he needed. And up next, we're flipping the script again. Because there's one nickname that quietly tells a man, you lead in the world, but with me, you get to rest. Stay close. This next one melts him. Number 7, create a private language that feels like a secret. A nickname isn't just a word. It's a password to a feeling only you two know exists. Now lean in, my friends, because this one's not loud and it's not flashy. It's not about public praise or crowd-approved charm. This one is private and this one it is his. See, every man has a world he shows to the crowd. Work, friends, the gym, the guy at the coffee shop who nods at him like they've both survived war. But inside, there's another world, a quieter one, a world where vulnerability lives, where he doesn't need to perform, where he just wants to be seen, not by everyone, but by one woman who really sees him. And that right there is what this nickname does. It's the one you never say in front of others, the one you only whisper when it's just the two of you. Maybe in bed, maybe in the car, maybe while he's making coffee and doesn't think you're watching. And it's not handsome, it's not babe. It's something only you say, something he didn't even know he wanted to be called, until you said it like it was the most natural thing in the world. Maybe it's my storm. Maybe it's magic. Maybe it's something totally inside, a name that came from a moment, a joke, a memory. What matters isn't the name. It's the fact that it's yours. Yours to give, yours to whisper, yours to protect. Let me give you a scene. He's walking around the kitchen shirtless, half asleep, hair all over the place. You wrap your arms around him from behind and say, "Morning, chaos." He laughs, soft, surprised. That name, it's ridiculous, but it sticks because it came from you, because no one else sees that side of him, messy, undone, real, and no one else ever will. That's the power of private language. It doesn't need an audience. It needs intention, and the more you use it, not constantly, but purposefully, the more it roots itself into his identity. He starts craving it, craving you. He could be sitting at work, suit and tie, full-on masculine armor, but in his mind, he hears that name, your voice, your energy, and suddenly he's not just confident, he's connected. Because here's what he'll never tell you out loud. Every man wants to belong to something bigger than himself. Not to a crowd, not to a performance, but to a feeling. And when that feeling is tied to a single word, whispered in your voice, with your energy, in your timing, you don't just give him a name, you give him a place where his mask can drop, a place where his ego doesn't need to perform, a place where he gets to be claimed, not by force, but by feeling. So ask yourself, what's your name for him? What word makes him feel like he's yours and only yours? Because once you have it, and once he hears it enough times at just the right moments, it's game over. You become the only woman whose voice can turn his world quiet. And next, we're heading to the final move, the one that cements all of this. It's not a nickname, it's a mirror, a word that says, you're not just my man, you're my match. Stay close. We're about to finish this with fire. And here's where it all comes together, my friends. It was never just about the nicknames. It was about the feeling they create, the identity they give him, and the power they awaken in you. One word said right at the right time can make you unforgettable. That's how you don't just catch his attention, you keep it. If this stirred something in you, do me a favor. Like this video, subscribe, and share it with a woman who deserves to feel powerful in her presence. And drop your favorite nickname in the comments below. Let's build a language of love, one word at a time.